Good morning, everyone. Hope you are all well and enjoying this absolutely fabulous weather. Make sure that you drink plenty. I learned the hard way. Today's learning, we are dedicating in memory of Leah Bas Bible, Tzivi Bas Mordechai, Avram ben David Slavin, Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris, Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret, Eliezer Shalom ben Avram Shmuel Beres, Tzipora Fegel Bas Reuven Baruch, Shalom ben Eli Ali, Ben Bas Bible, from Shoshana Bas Yaakov Shmuel. Wish their respective families long life. So last night was a fabulous session. If you missed it, I would highly recommend you coming to the next one and signing up. It's mental health, and we learned about resilience last night. Really, really important tools and raising awareness about this important issue and area. So today we continue with our journey through the second chapter of Ethics of the Fathers. And we are going to skip over one of the Mishnahs because it is a mirror image, the reverse of the previous Mishnah. The previous Mishnah that we were learning yesterday explained what the Derech Tova, what the correct way, the correct path for us to cling to. And now it tells us the exact opposite, which is the wrong path to choose. And it's a mirror image of the previous Mishnah. So let's move on to the next Mishnah. So the same sages that we spoke about before, they said three things. Rebbe Eliezer Omer, Yihi chavod chaviv alecha kishalach. Kavod means honor. So may the honor of your friend be dear to you as your own honor. Okay, we have to understand that, right? These are the key ingredients to life, that the honor of your friend should be as dear as your own. The next one is Ba'ati Noach Likos. He doesn't say don't get angry. It says don't quickly, don't get angry easily. Okay, so we have to explain that, and we'll discuss this in a minute. That before a person passes away, often I get the phone call, will you come and say vidui, confession with our loved one, right? Vidui is a form of confession, regret, and therefore atonement, and therefore that is the idea of repenting before a person's death. Okay, and you should warm yourself by the fire of sages. Obviously, they are going to be the mouthpiece for the Torah. They're going to instruct us and guide us in terms of doing and leading the right life, and therefore, obviously, we want to benefit from the radiance of their wisdom. But then he goes on to say a few statements which are quite cryptic and puzzling. But beware of the glowing coal in case you get burnt. Okay? Then it says, for their bite, referring to the sages, is the bite of a fox. Va'akitasan akitas ikrav. And their sting is the sting of a scorpion. And their hiss is the hiss of a serpent. And all the words are like fiery coals. So we'll leave the second part of the Mishnah. We'll see if we've got time for it a bit later on. But let's first deal with a more straightforward first part of the Mishnah. So they said three statements, which in fact are four, two combined. I'm sure you noticed that two of the statement, there was actually four instead of two. So Rebbe Eliezer says that your honor, the honor that we have for ourselves, should be as dear to you as the honor that we have for the honor that we have for our friend should be as dear to you as your own honor. So what is that referring to? So the idea here is that we know that when it comes to loving one's neighbor as oneself, it starts off with loving yourself, and then only once you love yourself can you then go on to love somebody else. Okay, so here he's saying that the honor of your friend should be as dear as the honor for yourself. So you have to start by honoring yourself, having some self-respect. Okay, despite the fact that Judaism says that we have to ensure that we are modest, that we have humility, right, which seem to be some foreign concept in the current climate and in the public domain, but they are so important. So the starting point is you have to know who you are. That doesn't mean bragging. That doesn't mean being egocentric. But each of us, we've spoken before, is made in the image of God. If you're made in the image of God, then you have to honor yourself. And once you honor yourself, then you can start honoring your friend. And you have to honor your friend. Why do you have to honor your friend? Because we've spoken before that your friend is there not just to soothe your conscience and your ego, but a good friend, a really good friend. And I hope we all have good friends. It could be a spouse, it could be a friend, it could be a neighbor. There's somebody that when you're doing something or when you slackened a bit, they're willing to come to you, and in a constructive fashion, they'll say, you know what, I noticed that you're not doing what you used to do, right? I noticed that you didn't go to Mishna in the morning this morning. Is everything okay? I know how much the rabbi enjoys you coming to a Mishna in the morning. So what we see from here is that we have to start by having some self-respect. From self-respect, then we are able to respect others, and we have to respect and we have to give honor to our friends, because whoever it is, they are made in the image of God. But more importantly, that they are the people that are going to help build us by their constructive criticism for the future. We carry on. So anger, right, is compared by the Rav Frand. He gives the beautiful analogy. If we were to imagine radiation, and I ask you, is that a good thing or a bad thing? So the answer is radiation is good and bad. It depends, is the answer. If it's used in the right way, in the right amount, then it can be good. But generally speaking, radiation is also something that is potent and lethal. So if it's used in a hospital setting, radiation is good. If it's used to create nuclear missiles and the like, then it is bad. So anger is a combustible force in the world. Generally speaking, we veer away from it, whereas all the other character traits, and this is an important concept, listen carefully, when it comes to all the other concepts, we have to have they are called midot. We have to have them in the right measure. Midah means measure. So therefore, we try to take the middle path, says Maimonides, right? We don't veer to the left and to the right. When it comes to anger, it is so difficult for us to get it right. We have to veer away from anger. Only on the seldom occasion is one encouraged or instructed to become angry. When would it be appropriate for a Jewish person to get angry? I'm going to look in the comments in case anybody's got it right. Good morning, everyone. Tell me, when is it correct? Good morning, everyone. We'll go through it very quickly. Elena, David, Ricky, Caroline, Richard. Whoops, I've just messed up. And who else is here? Michael, Harry, and Colin, Jackie, Rachel, Anthony, David, Andrea, Jonathan, Peter, Simon, Michelle, Aiton, Powell, and StreamYard. Lovely to see everyone. When is it correct for us to get angry? Okay? Think about when you get angry now, and then think about when would it be correct. So okay. Educating a child, correct. Somebody wrote educating a child. So educating a child is right and wrong, okay? Generally speaking, we know from our greatest of educators and rabbis that even when educating a child, one shouldn't really get angry, okay? It's counterproductive. But when there is danger, when there is real danger, right, then one must demonstrate and display signs of anger. It doesn't mean that you should ever be angry inside, because then you've lost yourself. We can discuss this in another session. But when it comes, a child is running into the road. The child is facing your child is facing danger. You don't have time to say, my dear, sweet Johnny, please can you come to the other side of the road? No, that's not the right approach. Real danger, right, has to be met with more radical measures, and therefore we would display anger. But the problem with anger is, as somebody also alluded to, is it's like tearing up the Torah. You tear up yourself. We lose ourselves. It's considered a form of idolatry, because you are you are subservient to something outside the Torah, outside of God, right? We lose ourselves, we lose control when we are in anger. And therefore, generally speaking, we have to be very, very reticent to become angry. And if we do, we have to do it in a slow, controlled fashion, only on very, very rare occasions. Okay, much more to say on this. We'll discuss it another time. One has to return before 1 day before one's death. And the rabbis say on this, the commentators say that in fact we never know how long we are going to live. Of course, we all say we should live to 120, we should be healthy, we should be gesund, we should be well. But realistically, we don't know. And every day we should consider, and this isn't morbid, we should consider and see today as if it is the last day I am ever going to be alive. And therefore treat every moment as if this is the last moment that I'm going to have. And therefore, we shouldn't wait until it is too late to do teshuvah, to ask for forgiveness, to say I'm sorry. You know what? I'll wait till next. I've got Rosh Hashanah coming round. That's my safety net. Before Rosh Hashanah, I'll make my annual phone call and I'll apologize for everything I've done. Or you know what? I know I've made some mistakes. I haven't been as careful as I should be about certain areas of Judaism. But don't worry, Yom Kippur is coming. That's when I'll clean the slate. We never know. And every day is precious, and therefore we should have a calculation. Every night, just for a minute, sometimes I'm exhausted, but a minute before you go to bed, think about your day. Is there anything you regret? We all make mistakes every second of our lives, right? And therefore we should think about it. And just by thinking about it and having that regret and thinking how sorry one is for and having the intention to not do it again, we are then in a position where we are going to be able, please God, to be able to make the necessary amends. If we leave it from year to year, so what's going to happen? It means we change very briefly and then we let it down. But if every day we're reflecting and we're considering and we want to be better people and we're regretting the past and we're doing teshuvah, then over the course of time, we're going to make sure that the improvements that we started off, the best of intentions, those resolutions are carried throughout the year. Okay, we carry on, okay, just because of lack of time. And we should warm ourselves by the warmth of the sages. We're not talking in physical terms, we're talking in spiritual terms, that the warmth, we know the Torah is compared to a light. So therefore, the idea is that we warm ourselves. It's such a cold, dark place. I'm not talking about the weather. I'm talking about the world at large. It can be so cold and lonely and desperate without having any direction, without having anybody to give you wise counsel. And therefore, we have to take advantage and warm ourselves. And when we find ourselves in a difficult situation, our sages, which are very much a mouthpiece for the Torah, they reflect and embrace and embody the Torah. They are able to give us that guidance. Okay, we're going to have to stop there. We'll continue tomorrow with that. So what we're going to do now is going to say Psalm 23, in which, and again I said that for several weeks we thought, we're over the worst, we're coming out the other end, and we're going to be all right. And COVID's a thing of the past. We don't need to daven for it. It's okay. But let me tell you, I am deeply concerned. Although we are opening things up, the next few weeks are critical as we are now seeing what's happening in Israel and in other countries where there is a resurgence of COVID. We have to hope and pray, and we have to beseech the Almighty that that doesn't happen here, that we don't take one step forward and 3 steps back. And therefore, that should be our thought and our mindset when it comes to Psalm 23. Amongst other things, we affirm our faith. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even when I walk in the valley of darkness, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. We continue with the memorial prayer. We don't have yortzites today, but we do have many people saying Kaddish or would be saying Kaddish, and therefore we wish them long life. Es Nishma, Es Leah Bas Bible, Zivi Bas Mordechai, Abram ben David Slavin, Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris, Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret, Eliezer Shalom ben Avram Shmuel Beres, Sephora Fagel Bas Reuven Baruch, Shalom ben Eliali, Ben Bas Bible, from Moshe Shambas Yaakov Shmuel, Babu, Shana Mispalim, Babu Ram, Bizchazer Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yimale Rachim Aleihem, Lach Malafosam, Yishlach Lem Fushlim and Shmaim Lach Avem Basar Shach Yisrael, Rufu Sa Nefesh Vusakov, Hashabagas Mankarev and Amar Amen. So, we're just going to conclude with a Refuah Shlema prayer. Mi Sheberach, Avsein Avram Yisrael Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivarech Rebbe Zochelim. Bavo Shanu Mispalim Bavo Ram Bez Chazar Kadosh Baruch Hu Yimane Rachim Aleihem Melach Malach Vosam Yishlach Lem Refuah Shlema and Shmam Lachol Ben Mesach Shach Yisrael Refuah Nefesh V'Zokov Hashabagas Mankarev and Amar Amen. Belated welcome to all those that are still joining us. Believe it or not, obviously they had their too busy having their Weetabix and Shreddies, so they missed it. Just to clarify. I am not saying in regards to anger that one shouldn't be upset and, inside get really worked up sometimes about injustices and about things that we see that are completely the antithesis of the way the world should be and the way God wants the world to be, 100%. But becoming angry, actually displaying anger because of its potency nowadays, we really, really refrain, generally speaking. And as we said, it's only in extreme situations of danger and the like that one would become angry. Wish everyone a great day. Drink plenty, as I didn't yesterday. And please God, we'll see you tomorrow. Keep safe, keep well, and have a great day.